These days, there's a wide variety of primetime television stars in the world. Some find their way transitioning to the big screen, some stick to TV, but very few are able to make a similar impact in both respective fields. Gwendoline Christie is absolutely somebody that adheres to the latter, with absolutely riveting portrayals in films like Star Wars as Captain Phasma, and in series like Game of Thrones, and most recently The SandMan. There's a lot to cover with this astonishing journey that Gwen has led up into this point, so let's get right into it, right here on The Famous Life. Gwendoline Tracy Philippa Christie was born on October 28, 1978 in Worthing, West Sussex. She has two older half-brothers, her mother was a housewife, and her father worked in sales and marketing. She grew up in a hamlet near the South Downs, and when Gwen was a child, she trained and had aspirations to be a gymnast, but closed the door on that dream and took up acting after a spinal injury. She attended the Drama Centre London and graduated in 2005. One may think that Gwen was always viewed as a great actress and her unique appearance would always be considered a plus by anybody in the industry. Sadly, that was not the case, and Gwen did have to overcome people projecting some nasty sentiments upon her. She was told she would probably never work because she didn't look the same as most actors, due to her unconventionally tall physique, and was even told, well, good luck with that, by her agent, after expressing it was her goal to be a leading lady on the big screen. Something that was a big source of inspiration for Gwen to continue her pursuit was Tilda Swinton's performance in Orlando. In a 2017 interview, she recalled thinking, well, she's in a film, she's otherworldly, and is definitely outside the room. I realized that maybe there is a place for me too. Speaking on her 6'3" frame with The Independent in 2019, she said, I think because my body seems to draw such extreme responses from people that, well, it's fight or flight, isn't it? Sink or swim. You either exist in a state of shame about not fitting into society, or you embrace what you have. In 2002, Christie's height attracted the attention of photographer Bali Borland, who made Christie the subject of a noted series of photographs entitled Bunny between 2002 and 2008, and these were not exactly your typical portraits. According to Gwen, she felt that the photographs, in which she appears mostly nude in, could help her come to terms with her body and challenge notions of femininity. However, she later stated that she was shocked in retrospect that she had agreed to take them. Christie's mentor since drama school has been actor and author Simon Callow. Her theatrical career includes a performance as the Queen in Shakespeare's Cymbeline opposite Tom Hiddleston, portraying Mag Wildwood in Breakfast at Tiffany's, and standing out as Lucifer in Marlowe's Dr. Faustus. Funny enough, however, this onstage portrayal of Lucifer would not be the last time that she was tapped to portray the biblical character. Gwen's on-screen debut came as a role with the 2007 short film titled The Time Surgeon, written and directed by Nathaniel Mellors. In the following years, she continued to appear in his works, such as 7 Stages of Britain teaser, a short TV film acting as an introduction to the final episode of the documentary series, 7 Ages of Britain, and the first 4 films of his Our House series of experimental short films, released between 2010 and 2011, as part of art exhibitions or in selected public screenings. Gwen's role in this project was not limited to her on-screen performance. She was also involved in Our House behind the scenes, acting as associate producer and being credited for casting, costumes, props, and makeup. From juggling roles in short films, posing nude in photographs, to being associate producer for a series of her own, Gwen had truly put in the work and paid her dues, but at this point in her career, it was time for a breakout role. And what a role it was. In July 2011, Gwen was cast as the warrior Brienne of Tarth in the 2nd season of HBO's fantasy TV series Game of Thrones. Her character, an unusually tall, muscular, and plain-looking woman, is a favorite amongst the novel's core fanbase, and Christie had been proposed by the role by fans long before auditions even took place. It's almost like she was meant for this role with how things fell into place, but that's not to say that Gwen did not earn this, because she did everything in her power to throw herself into this role from auditions. Christie said that she could draw on her own experiences of having been bullied for her height and looks to play the part of Brienne, a role that she was passionate to play after reading A Song of the Ice and Fire novels, which the show adapts. She told The Independent, "So many women come up to me and talk about what it means to feel represented outside of the constraints of conventional society. In 2011, I didn't think I would ever see a woman that looked like me in mainstream entertainment. I felt like there was one mold that wouldn't be broken and diversity was not part of the conversation. So the fact that Brienne existed, wow." We also weren't joking about Gwen's preparation for this role. Starting with auditions, she underwent quite a transformation. In order to prepare, she started wearing unisex clothing to help her get into her character's more masculine mindset, and she took up an intensive training regimen, gaining over 14 pounds of muscle mass. According to the series' co-writer, producer, and author of the novels, George Martin, she obtained the role practically without debate, after an audition at which she appeared already made up and costumed as Brienne. After being cast in the role, she prepared for it by working out extensively, taking horsemanship, sword fighting, and stage fighting lessons. In addition to her role in Game of Thrones, Gwen appeared in the British science fantasy series Wizards vs. Aliens by Doctor Who writers Russell T Davies and Phil Ford from 2012 to 2013. This was another role of hers that was nicely complemented by her unique appearance for the role of Lexi, the 17-year-old princess of Necros, the alien species invading Earth. Time and time again on this channel, we always talk about how getting the call to be in a superhero movie is one of the biggest career moves an actor can make. However, another role that is a testament to an actor's talent and popularity that rivals the stature of a Marvel flick has got to be landing a role in the Star Wars franchise, and Gwen was ready to make that career leap. In 2015, Gwen co-starred in Star Wars The Force Awakens as Captain Phasma, one of the film's supporting antagonists. Her performance and the character's design were both praised. However, the character received criticism for her minimal role in the film, particularly after she was prominently featured in promotional material, which I think is some of the best criticism you could receive. I mean, people being upset there wasn't more of your character is very telling. I haven't read the comics, but I mean, it's Star Wars. I would absolutely love that, Christie said of any future opportunities to bring her character back, including adapting her comic book run for the big screen. There was a template for a character that people got really excited about. It would be smashing if they felt it was worthwhile to explore, along with some fabulous action. And as if being one of the marquee members of the new Star Wars installments and Game of Thrones wasn't enough, Gwen added another big-time blockbuster franchise to her resume. That same year, she played Commander Lime in the 4th installment in the Hunger Games film series, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. That same year, she joined the cast of Swallows and Amazons as Miss Blackette, but later dropped out. Speaking on the Hunger Games series, Gwen told BBC, "I think it's a really progressive story, and I'm very proud to be a part of this story. I think there's very interesting and modern depictions of women and of men." Game of Thrones would conclude in 2019, but it would not end without Gwen receiving a Primetime Emmy nomination for Most Outstanding Performance. Although what I think is more important than any other award is the fact that Gwen has already played so many characters that have etched their way into the very fabric of pop culture. More recently, Christie was cast in the Netflix adaptation of The SandMan, where she will be playing the character Lucifer. Like we said, it's not the first time she will be playing the character, so it'll be interesting to see how that performance comes across. I think there's a lot of us that can't wait to see Gwen's portrayal of Lucifer in this upcoming series, but as of right now, you're all caught up on the life story of Gwendoline Christie. Let us know your thoughts on her story in the comment section down below, and we will see you in another video.